Oh, Unity too, though. They made a record.
Right.
You had a couple hits.
They had like so they had this. It's like reggae rap, right, with some like ska and so it's like hip hop and like all kind of like meshed together shit. But the producer was dude who did was Sidney Mills, my guy, my OG, Sidney Mills, and he had produced ghetto music for KRS-One. He's a reggae producer, and he's actually the keyboard and music director for Steel Pulse, legendary reggae group. So that's my roots in the game because I was in a reggae band that they produced our demo. I wasn't really in the band. I was the DJ on the live shows.
Okay, so you weren't recording that album with them.
What? No. What happened was they had recorded it and got rid of their DJ and needed one.
Okay,
and
yeah.
because of the guys that were playing in the band, I had just worked with them. They had came to Boston and produced the band I was with. They were like, yo, you should let this nasty dude come from Boston.
He's nasty, yep.
And they were like, okay, we got someone about to choose, so come through. Came through. My pops drove me down we drove down from New York. It was crazy. I was doing a gig on Block Island.
Are you guys making music yet together?
We were making music kind of from the first, like he comes to my crib and sees I got turntables.
But I only ask because like you guys,
we have tapes of us being a radio station from like we're kids. Our voices are this big.
That, like, you're Mecca or something, and you ended up going out. That's how you guys met, right?
Yep.
Like so, they're busting you out to Newton, where you're at. You got the inner city shit, the hip hop where it's at, listening to the floor, and you're bringing that to you, and you're like, you already got the tables and shit set up, ready to go. So you're like, oh shit, plug.
Because I wasn't a kid in Newton that was like a Newton kid.
That's Mobb Deep story.
They were like, you're. Why does he always say man after everything? That was Newton. Like when I got to Newton, I'm like, what, kindergarten or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's up, man? They're like, yo, why does he say man after every single thing?
Like the first day we met. This is how we met. This is how we met. Yo, you got fat laces, man. You my man.
Oh yeah,
because you already know.
And we was
that was like the club.
The signal
you're in the
already
exactly. You're in the club if
that was.
You know what that is.
That was exact, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That was exactly. You had the Pumas on, and I was like, yo, you got the fat laces. You my man. New kid in school. Nobody knew him. Shit. Nothing. Walked into class. Yo, you got the fat laces. You my man. We was like this. I think I came out to your house like the next week, right?
Yeah. Because then you said, I remember, because it was like wood shop, so it was some like smooth floors. So he seen like I had probably some b-boy pants on, like. And I'm not even b-boy, but I was hip hop all the way in my mind already. So
it's making me like long for that time because even 10 years later, when I was that age, you dress a certain way. You see somebody who's dressed hip hop,
right? You're like, yo, what up?
Like instant friend.
Yes.
Shit.
Yep.
Shit.
So he was he was like, so what's he was like, you gave me the pound, and then he was like, so what's all this about? You be b-boying or something? You know, he said some slick shit, and I was like. Not really, but a little bit. And he was like, you can't do this. And then you busted out some shit real quick. And I was like, nah, but I could do this. And I did some like footwork. Like the teacher was like, you guys, they started screaming at us. He looked right at me. He was like, I'm your brother, man. We're brothers. We're brothers. And I was like, all right, cool. So in the next class that we got in with the wood shop again, you said, yo, so since we brothers, I'm going to come to your house.
Yeah.
And I said, all right. And then he said, this is exactly what you said. Should I say it?
Go ahead.
Okay. He said.
Now I'm at the edge of my seat.
He said, what you gonna do? What's your mama gonna do when you bring a nigga home? And I said, she's probably gonna say, hi, I'm Jane. I'm gonna, you want some food? And he was like, yeah, right. You were like, yeah, right.
Yeah, you go through that shit.
Because he's coming from Roxbury, and most kids, that is what's going to happen. Yeah. Now, me, I'm coming from Alston. I lived in L.A. I'm not suburban. So I'm looking at him like, oh, okay, nah, it ain't going to be no thing. Kidding me? And he's like, yeah, right. I'm like, what? You're going to walk in? She's going to say, I'm Jane. I'm his mom. Do you want a sandwich? I'm telling you.
Did you get offered the sandwich?
Listen.
It was exactly like that.
That's exactly what happened. We walked in. I said, it's Rico. It's my brother. And she goes, hi, Rico, I'm Jane. Do you guys want sandwiches? I just made some, whatever, tuna fish or whatever. And you looked right at me like, we're brothers forever now.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where I'm
that's it.
I'm trying to get the
Then he sees the turntables. Oh, we're out of here.
So you guys like meet. How old are you at this point in time?
I'm 10.
10.
He's 10. I'm 11.
11 years old. And you're in your 50s now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
this was a little while.
You guys have been making music together like since then.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys both live in Vermont now.
Yep.
Do you guys like live in the same house and shit?
Nah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you guys obviously have like a kinship that like.
Yeah, we just always end up in the same place. Like when he was in New York, like once because I used to call him all the time. Imagine you sitting there and you see your brother on MTV Raps with KRS-One.
Yep.
Yeah.
Call him. Yo, that's you on MTV Raps? He like, yeah. Now it's a taping. He's on the phone.
Right.
But he's on the TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he's on the phone right now, but
we're watching him.
That's
but like, yo,
surreal.
how'd you? So imagine that. And I'm already, what really made me start writing rhymes is it's a crazy wind down. So obviously Melly Mel made me like feel hip hop. The message made me feel hip hop because that shit was right out the window, right? So it made me feel it. Rakim came, made me think about it, right? Mm. And then this is gonna fuck you up. I skipped a whole day of school the first time I heard Potholes in My Lawn. So De La made me like, I can do this shit.
I can do this shit, yeah.
I can do this shit. And that's who I'm gonna do it with. Because them right there, even though I'm coming out of this, like, by the time Native Tongues came, like, I was like, if I'm gonna join a hip hop crew, because that's what we all be like, I'm gonna be in this hip hop. If I could join a hip hop crew right now, it would be Native Tongues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because not all my inspiration, but a lot of my inspiration comes from that. Just that way, just that sound. Yeah. And like, I'm the only motherfucker on the block in a flowered shirt.